Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Greetings, Earthlings. You are muted, Charles, just to let you know. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Boogeyman Radio. We got a interesting show for you. Why can I not feel like I can't hear you? Or
because I'm not talking.
Oh, it like
just quiet.
Just cuts to silence.
Silence.
It is. But yeah, guys, we got a good show for you. We're going to be talking about giants in America.
And not the New York Giants.
No, nobody wants to talk about that.
No, nobody wants to talk about New York Giants. What's up, Cassie?
Yeah, I think we've talked about, like, maybe on another show, we talked a little bit about Giants.
We talked about Giants briefly, but not, like, in, like, depth. We're just really talking about Giants here in America.
Giants
Look at that.
America. Oh, man, it's been a week, huh?
It has been a week. Absolutely. My work has been crazy. We had Thanksgiving for a bunch of members on Thanksgiving. So I was there from, I think, 9 to 4:30-ish. We served a bunch of people in-house and did a bunch of carry-out for a lot of people to come and pick up turkeys. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a great day. It's fun.
Yeah.
It is a long day, but that's okay. So, it's, I was glad to go home because when I got home, I took like a 2-hour nap.
Nice.
Just crashed for like 2 hours. Yeah, I was just...
Good old Thanksgiving nap.
Well, I had nothing going on. My mom and dad were in Texas. They're in Texas. Other people in my family had some health issues going on, so I couldn't really hang out with them. And then my sister was with, I think, the in-laws with that too. So it was just like, my roommates are home. Let's just hang out, watch some movies, chillax, watch some football. Was there football on that night?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, then watch some football. I couldn't tell you who played. Was that the Dolphins game?
Dolphins played.
Was that Friday? That was Friday.
Packers played. Packers-Lions game. That was a good game.
Yeah, it was. I was
There was
surprised.
another game. I forgot who the other game was.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's whatever. Most important game's on right now, so
The Bears and the Vikings.
yeah.
And the
We-
Chiefs had
we
a
were
great
watching-
game yesterday.
We were watching a little bit and obvious Las Vegas calls there.
Oh man, it's so bad this year. So bad.
Maybe we could do that on a conspiracy
bad.
show.
That'd be a good conspiracy show. Like, is the NFL rigged? YouTube would probably block us because can't talk about stuff like that.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's other people talking about it. Hey,
I'm
what's
sure.
up, Josh? Good to see you.
Andre the
Andre the Giant.
Anybody
Hey, great
want a peanut?
athleticism right there. What?
I said, anybody want a peanut?
I love that movie. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. If
And
anybody
you
knows the
get-
movie that he's saying, you get brownie
Bonus-
points.
bonus points.
There you go. Bonus points. Yeah, we'll just
Bonus
say bonus points. If you know what it is, put the chat below. But how was your week?
Oh, Thanksgiving sucked.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
like legit sucked or
Oh, that sucked. I was taking care of my daughter who was
sorry?
sick.
Oh yeah, that does suck. Well,
She-
aren't
I-
all kids getting sick right now for some reason? Oh wait, it's that time of year. Duh.
Stomach bug. She was having like cramps and stuff like that. Like,
Ah,
and like,
Lori.
in the middle of the
Good
night,
to see
she
ya.
threw up.
Oh,
Like the night before we went over to my brother's house, like she threw up. I got like 3 hours sleep, and then night after that, while we were over there, she threw up again. I was up
man,
most of the night.
I gotta say, if there's any good reason for me to be happy about not having kids, it's because of the season right now. Because with kids comes sickness very frequently,
And
especially
old
this time of year. Like colds
Yeah,
are going around like crazy. Mind you, I do work around kids with where I work and stuff like that, so I'm sure it's
Bar?
gonna be unavoidable. But what?
at the bar
Yeah, the members bring their kids in.
for a drink.
No, but I like if there's glassware that they're using, I have to wash it with my hands. And
But-
somebody might come up to the bar and be like, "Can I have a Shirley Temple?" And like I have to serve them a Shirley Temple. Like
The way
That's how
I'm
it
taking
goes.
it, the way I'm taking it though is like it's yin and yang. There's got to be some balance to life,
oh yeah, there is.
Lately, I've been having a good run.
Hey, Josh, good call.
He looked it up.
I trust him.
I don't know.
He said Andre the Giant, so he's got to know who who's in that movie.
Well, yeah, but like he probably looked up what movie Andre the Giant's in and probably.
I
typed in-
trust him. I trust him. I trust Josh.
I'm just saying, Josh. You don't win all the time on her paranormal.
Hey, Pixar,
Getting-
Pixar, it didn't happen. I mean, what?
Oh, but no, like yin and yang, I think is really
Yeah.
what it boils down to because, like, literally the day
The
I was
month?
gonna go out there, well,
Yeah.
the month,
Well,
past
the
month,
entire month before, you've had such an amazing month.
and
I feel
and
like
it's
you've had an
already
amazing month.
spilled
Already back
into
to the
November,
cycle. Right.
and then it just continued. I got a new distributor.
Mhm.
Now I have two of them, and
Hey.
their setup though is going to be like a channel. It's not so much.
Oh,
like,
nice.
It's not so much of a streaming app.
So, is it a channel that's going to be on a streaming app?
Yeah.
Or on
Like, you can access the
cable,
channel.
or-
Roku and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. That's
but
dope.
I haven't signed anything yet, but I am planning on it.
I mean, biggest perks is it's non-exclusive.
Exactly. So,
More
haunting
hunting history to go around. Yeah.
Yep. And hopefully she's gonna be talking to her higher ups about something for me.
Yeah, I obviously hope it goes through for you, man. I want nothing but the most and success.
So yeah, I actually had a video chat with her on
Good.
Thursday, right before I left. But and then of course, like I said, kid was sick and all that, so there's a balance there.
You
But
can't.
then
you can't help that really.
and then on Friday,
Indeed.
I made a post like about the unboxing of this. So I call it unboxing the future.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Yes. So now I have my X820
Nice.
and I have an XA60,
Nice.
and it's a little bit different from my 20, but
See, I gotta say real quick, with details like that, how could Josh just make it up and look it up? Come on, the details are in the story.
There you go. Yeah.
Who did you dress as, Josh? Josh. Who'd you dress as?
Yeah.
Yeah, that camera's pretty nice, ain't there, Lori? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty-
Oh yeah. So
pretty-
super.
pretty
I haven't even,
spiffy.
I filmed it a little bit with it just like
Just a
before
little,
we got
just a
on.
tip.
But like, I think the LED screen is bigger than the X820s.
Wow, that is a pretty nice LED screen.
Like 3.5 inches, man. It's like better than my.
Whoa, don't say anything. Don't.
Just the tip comes up. And look, the lens looks so beautiful.
It does look beautiful. Not a single scratch.
Not. So, let me just tell you guys this: like, if you ever watch Destination Fear or Project Fear, this is what they're using.
Gasp.
Gatsby should, except I think they might have the 75, which is a
Probably they can afford it.
Yeah, they got. Like,
I wonder if they
400.
wait that off too.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Ah,
No, they
Gasp.
got 400
Ah,
grand.
dang it.
Just back it up. Back it up.
I would share the comment, but it's not really appropriate.
Share it. Share it. Share it. Share it. Share it. Share it. Hey!
Lori says it's so clean and sparkly.
Yes. For now, I don't even have a case for it, so I guess that's going to be the next purchase, I guess. I don't know.
That might be a big, big thing to purchase.
Kind of a big deal.
I mean, maybe. Now, my question is, who'd you buy it through?
I went through Walmart with it.
Did they make you pay it outright, or did you do like a layaway?
No, I bought it outright.
Nice. Cool. I wasn't for sure if Walmart did layaways still or not.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the fruits of my labor with the Midwest Mystery Tour. You were thinking, oh, he's just making money to pay bills. No, he was making money to set up something even nicer for you guys.
Yeah, much, much nicer.
I figured that's kind of a better way to do things than like the crowdfunding, because like with crowdfunding, I mean,
with crowdfunding, there's not an immediate like, hey, what do we get out of it?
Yeah, there's not an experience with it. It's just okay. I just gave you some money. I get, a signed poster or something or credit, which is cool. But like,
Exactly, Cassie. Exactly.
it's hard to walk away from. Okay, I'm an alcoholic.
Just for everyone to know, for the official record,
I'm an alcoholic. I lie.
Dave finally admitted he's an oh, gosh dang it. Oh, Josh, that's awesome, man. Mad Max and Valerie, very nice. Good call.
Which one were you?
Call. Which one was he? Well, it is 2023.
It's couples things,
I know. Couples dressing. I know.
They do like Bonnie and Clyde, and the guy's usually Bonnie, and she's usually
Or the
Clyde.
cheerleader and football star. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. One
Stripper,
condition, I get to be the boyfriend. What? A funny joke in 2008 is now true in 2023, or is standard. It was a skit from Drake and Josh, and it's like a funny joke from 2008 is now a standard question in relationships. Are we boyfriend and girlfriend? Yep. Well, on one condition, I get to be the boyfriend.
Oh,
one of
man.
my favorite shows growing up as a kid. All right, we've rambled long enough. Let's get into some giants.
Getting some jazz.
Get into some giants.
Ew.
Some giants.
Yeah. No. Alrighty.
Let's give the people what they want.
Right. I will. By
Unless
the
you have
way,
any other news.
I was going to tell you.
Oh,
I'm retiring from filmmaking. Send this fucking camera back.
Oh, sorry, it's dusty and
Send this thing back. I'm gonna get my life together.
get your life together. I feel like you getting the camera is part of you getting your life together.
No,
I mean,
it's
did I
not.
say that? What?
No.
Did
No,
I? The
can't be.
sky. It's,
Can't be the truth. What would we ever do if we were telling the truth?
oh, 100%. I mean, we kind of tell the truth, right?
No
What's
truth in there.
Just looking at nothing. No truth in there. No truth in the red Solo cup. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was gonna say something, but I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait. We'll wait.
Okay, you're just gonna drop it on them like that. All right,
I'll
cool.
wait for the right time.
All right, I didn't know if there was anything else.
I was considering for next week's show maybe just doing another paranormal roundtable. You know, what
Why
you feel
not?
about that? How you feel? How you guys feeling about that? Let us know in the comments.
I
You want
mean,
another paranormal roundtable? Give it, smash the thumbs up button and all that stuff. And if you haven't subscribed, what the hell are you doing with your life?
I feel like our roundtables are generally liked, so I think a roundtable would be an excellent idea.
Our
Plus, it's been a
roundtables-
minute since we've done one.
Our roundtables are prior, dude. Like,
Oh, they are, and I mean, I like having different people on and getting their perspective on things, so it's kind of nice. Plus,
absolutely.
kind of talk to people. Plus, I don't have to talk all the time. I can just sit back and soak
Me
things
and-
in. Yeah.
Ooh, it's got
Oh,
blood.
that's a great perspective. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Round table, my fave pizza at pizza shop. What?
Ye-
Is that a wait? That's a pizza, Cassie? What's the toppings? Let me know, please.
Is it the
Yes,
size
Josh,
of a
picking
table?
on Dave. It is a whole table.
You get a T-shirt after you eat it all,
Oh, just a T-shirt, eh? Is it a triple X? Because that's what I'm gonna need.
and your name on the wall.
Oh man,
Biggest
with a
sports
picture.
stats in 5 counties.
Oh my god.
The old 96er.
Oh, the E6er. Oh.
All right, Josh,
Finish.
tell me what movie that's from. Let's see how good your movie knowledge is. The old 96.
I don't even know that one, but it's okay.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, sure. I can just go look it up, but all right.
God help us all. All right, guys. So yeah, the reason you're here is not for me. It's not for Charles. It's because of Giants, and you know what they say about
It's definitely
Giants.
not for me.
Bigger the feet, longer the stride.
Ah, something like that. I'll say bigger the toes, but okay. Bigger the hands.
The bigger the tracks.
The bigger the tracks. Easier to detect too. Easy to track. So
That
let's
drag mark.
let's
and-
just before we get into the actual there is real evidence of giants out there. Like this is a well-known thing. Plus people used to be taller. You know, gravity sucks. But and our DNA has been slowly changed throughout our lifetimes. But anyways, right. So where do you think all the big topic discussions of giants went? Because it seemed like it just kind of like disappeared. Is it because they found more interesting creatures? Is like more supernatural paranormal things, or what? Because giants are 100% real. They are real. And there's been several stories. I know the one I think in Afghanistan is a pretty popular one about some big giant in the desert, and there was a whole thing with that. I think, where did I hear that one from?
I want to
there
say
was a-
there's element of suppression to that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, because
I mean, if we-
I thought there was like articles upon articles upon articles back in like from 1940 to like 1970 of people just finding giants.
yeah, throughout the 1800s, really, it's like
Yeah, that too.
if you think about like the spiritual movements,
Oh yeah,
like there was a lot of articles and stuff that came out in the newspapers, and they would offer all these claims and just use like the spirit photos maybe for like the
Yeah.
evidence of it. Like there was
Yeah.
no filter on that kind of stuff. So I think after a while, some discoveries were made, and some people like the Smithsonian were either told to hide things,
Yeah.
or it was just like a big kind of come together moment with like different corporations and things like that.
You're questioning too many things.
See, this kind of goes with the Bigfoot thing, like
I was
why
thinking about that too.
we haven't been told by the government if there's Bigfoot, and all these people that work for these logging companies, why they got to stay hidden while they're telling us about their experiences. Well, if we find a species of hominoids living in a certain area, we can't develop that land.
No.
It's going to get used for a rare species. We can't take away their home. So, yeah, people lose logging rights and stuff like that. But with the giants, if we find bones of giants in certain areas, those areas are going to get designated as burial grounds. So
it's true.
That land can't be developed. Unless you're Jeff Bezos or, Bill Gates.
Yes.
Norman Rockwell.
That
Alf.
China.
Oh, that one hit different.
That one hit different.
It was a little low because they're short.
Oof.
So yeah, that's why I think there's nothing.
Sorry. But that makes sense. I mean, it definitely makes sense. It leads into the whole like questioning the norm, like, oh, we've always been here, we've always been this size kind of thing. Like, they don't want people to like. I heard somebody talk about it, and they said it in a way where it just kind of like made sense. Where we're in such a a newer time where like anything we want that's new is like it's ready to go, right? Like,
yeah,
when you have like
instant
TikTok or instant gratification, right? Well, it makes us also easily forget things. It makes us very easily like just in one ear out the other. Oh, it's old news, gone. Like, what's new news at 9 a.m. is old news by 9 p.m. Like, it makes sense. So they try to get people in this trance, right, of this constant stream of like serotonin, but when they're faced with actually diving down and looking at the real like things, the floor of things, I should say, they don't want that. They don't want you to be free thinkers. They don't want you to be driven by your thoughts or what you think could be real. Like, all you got to do is go out there and possibly find it. You never know. But
yeah,
I definitely think that plays into keeping people docile and makes them conform and makes them, they don't teach us how to be billionaires or rich in school. They teach us how to get a job, they teach us how to go to college and then get a job and work because someone's got to supply the food, someone's got to be a doctor, someone's got to be a mechanic, someone's got to be a grocery store clerk. Like, there's this whole grand scheme of things, and unfortunately we're bought and bred basically from the beginning of life.
I feel like that
Shut
billionaire
down.
I feel like that billionaire got to you quite a bit.
A little bit, but it wasn't just him. It's just his perspective on some things. It kind of opened up some stuff that was already there.
Yeah.
And it just put
made
it
you think about stuff more.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. But I mean, have I always wanted a life like that for myself? Oh yeah. Do I still want a life like that for myself? Absolutely. I just don't know how to go about it.
Yep. And Josh, the old 96er, it's from The Great Outdoors, John Candy and Dan Aykroyd.
Oh yeah, I was so uninterested in that movie.
You what?
Sorry, I was so uninterested in that movie.
Yeah, it's for a younger audience.
It was not for me.
No, it's not for everybody.
It isn't. Was that a 90s or an early 2000s?
I think it's 80s actually.
80s? Oh, okay. Well, I'm way off.
Something like that. 89.
Anyways, so I'm gonna take it back a little bit and talk about, this is just me, not even articles. But I don't know if you all have noticed, but there's a theory out there that when you look at some hieroglyphs of ancient Egypt, right? You have the smaller people and you have the bigger people. And some people were like, oh, that's because it was people's stature or what they were like, how important they were in society. Well, some think that maybe they were actually giants. Like the original gods of Egypt were considered the pharaohs at one time, right? They were considered the original pharaohs, and then eventually the newer pharaohs became, or they were the children of the gods, or the chosen of the gods. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was, like, if they made all these giant monuments. Obviously, the rulers also made their monuments because grand stature, of course. But I wouldn't be surprised if some people just kind of took it, not necessarily out of context, but they thought that it was a class system instead of maybe they were just really big people. I mean, you see some of the doorways in Egypt, like, my gosh. Yeah. Like, same thing with Greece. People were huge.
And, you know...
Well, not people, but, like, gods and such.
In a lot of these places, like, they're... Like, even here in America, there's places that we'll be talking about, like, especially Serpent Mound. Like, that is dated back to, like, 321 BC or something like that, you know? Like, that's a long time ago.
Absolutely.
And there was... I don't know if you're going to talk about it or not. I'm just going to mention it in passing. Like,
go for it.
All over the U.S. and Canada and parts of Mexico, like there's tribes everywhere that have these tales of these larger beings. I know there's one in the Appalachians where they had these redhead giants that were actually cannibals. They would eat the natives. And you know, some of the stories that you hear where they killed a giant is that where they trap him in a cave and they spear him to death or something, you know, like they're great warriors, you know, take down a giant. So like, there's actual articles and actual legends and lore like passed down from Native Americans about that. And we'll explore some of that here in just a few minutes. But it brings people's attentions then to like these giant mounds, like not just Serpent Mound, but like these huge oval mounds, like they're what's in there. That's what
is inside those freaking mounds, dude. I'm right there with you. Like the same thing with gosh, not just the mounds, but there's so many different ancient structures that I'm not only like what's in it, well, what's beneath it, how far does it go down? Like we only see what we know as the surface, right? Like we've talked about this before. Dig down deeper. Like start from the outside, dig down deeper, and see how far those freaking buildings go. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Speaking of Egypt again, because we've talked about this before, I wouldn't be surprised if there was more stuff below the pyramids or just underneath the city of Cairo, like all around there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's so much more stuff that we just don't know, because history is literally underneath us, guys. It's basic archaeology 101. Like, if you want to find history, it's right underneath you. Metal detecting, people's lost coins, and all sorts of... Anyways,
let's get into some of these, like some of the giant discoveries here in North America real quick.
Well, and did you want to talk about the mounds? I know you talked about it just a second ago, the Serpent Mound in Ohio. Did you want to talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, we'll get into that here in a minute. Yeah, the Serpent Mounds. So the Great Serpent Mound is a 1,300 feet long prehistoric effigy mound. It's located near Peebles. It's been thoroughly researched by Ross Hamilton, who's written extensively about its mysteries and the giants discovered in the area. So recent radiocarbon analysis dated it, I was right, 321 BC, which puts it in the realm of the Adena civilization, who were present in that area at that time. Now that's another thing. So with some of these areas, like these aren't like large tribes, you know, like the Adena is not a household name, not like the Iroquois, the Sioux, Apache, you know.
Like I don't think I've ever heard of the Adena before.
Just
completely honest.
So like it makes it a little more curious as to like how, number one, how they're formed, how large that tribe is, and then number two, like where they get their beliefs and things like that. In the 1990s, Professor Frederick Ward Putnam excavated some of the mounds next to Serpent Mound and found only 6-foot tall skeletons. But a postcard showing one 7 feet in height was recently rediscovered by researcher Jeffrey Wilson. It may have been one of those excavated by Putnam, as he was the only person to dig at the site. And I'll show you guys what that looked like. I have pictures for you guys.
Yes, pictures.
This is the postcard here. It could be 7 feet, or it could just be 5 feet, and we can't tell, honestly.
Yeah,
you know. But that is a big head. That is a big head.
Yeah, it's a big old skull.
Big old skull. So Ross first published this in a book, A Tradition of Giants, and it clearly states that it was from Serpent Mound on the postcard, but there is still debate as to where this photo of a 7-foot skeleton was actually taken. Notice the legs are cut off at the knees, so it is 7 feet what we actually see, or is that an estimation if he had his lower legs? I'll put that picture back up again so you see what I'm talking about. You see it's like cut off at the knees there. So like, is it 7 feet what we're seeing, or is the estimation if he had his lower legs and feet attached? Could it have been more like 8 feet tall if the shins and feet were there? We don't know. And that's the beauty of photography. You just don't know unless you were there. It's just a personal experience, honestly. Are you on the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do the next one?
Absolutely. All right. So the Crescent Mound in West Virginia, it dates back to 1959 as far as when they discovered it and stuff. Dr. Donald Dragul, that's a cool name. I like that. Dragul. It's almost like Dragulia. That's almost kind of cool. The curator for the section of man at the Carnegie Museum unearthed a 7 feet 2 inch skeleton during the complete excavation of the Crescent Mound in northern West Virginia. Dragu published a photo of the actual skeleton in his book, so there is no doubt it was authentic. Dragu joins many other university-trained anthropologists and archaeologists who reported discovering skeletons over 7 feet in length in burial mounds, often with anatomical anomalies. A few of the professionals reporting these skeptical finds were Dr. Walter B. Jones, Moundsville, Alabama, which was 7 foot and 6, and many just 7-footers, and Dr. Forrest Clements, head of anthropology at the University of Oklahoma, Dr. Donald A. Kadzow, Cambridge University, Dr. Byron Cummings, head of archaeology department at the Southern University of Arizona, considered the dean of Southwestern Archaeology, Thomas Wilson, curator of the prehistoric anthropology at Smithsonian, and W.J. Holland, curator of the Carnegie Museum, who had over an 8-foot tall skeleton in Pennsylvania, as reported in many scientific journals. So they're definitely out there. Like, that's. Did you show the picture of the giant and then the others?
This one here.
Did you show the next picture too?
Hang on.
The one right below it.
Oh, hang on. Let me do that. And then do.
Good to have you here. I'm really sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thanks for being here.
Try it.
I'm not gonna try it. There's no place for me to try it. I have no idea.
All right. Yeah, here's the other picture.
All right. So those were all the, as you can see, all the bodies that were found. And it goes on to say all the gentlemen, and they said which ones found which ones. But as you can tell, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bodies found. Right? Like, is that the number we're getting?
I think so.
7. No. Yeah. Oh yeah, there is one in the outer ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, there's 7 bodies there. Wow.
Well,
nice.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a good point. Will it let me do that?
What?
I can't. I was gonna try to translate it, but the way this, I guess I can go to YouTube and do it that way. But
You can
through
Google it.
StreamYard, yeah, I can Google it. StreamYard won't let me do it. But so the next one, it's the mounds in Iowa. This account from the word
Where at Iowa?
What?
It says in Iowa. Where in Iowa, right?
I'm getting there. Let me figure it out.
Like
it actually doesn't say.
Oh, I thought
It
it
just
said
says mounds in Iowa, 1897, 7 feet and 6 inch skeleton.
I wonder if
This
Josh knows about these.
Maybe. It says this account from the Worthington Advance, November 18th, 1897, describes the ethnological work of the Smithsonian Institution's Division of Eastern Mounds and quoted the director of the Bureau of Ethnology at the time, John Wesley Powell. The image below accompanied the news report. It is and this is a direct quote from that article. It is a matter of official record that in digging through a mound in Iowa, the scientists found the skeleton of a giant who, judging from actual measurement, must have stood 7 feet 6 inches tall when alive. The bones crumbled to dust when exposed to thin air. That's probably why they didn't really carry on with it that much, because they just say, "Oh yeah, the bones don't exist anymore. Sorry." There's not really proof there.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is too,
suspicious.
It is known that the Smithsonian had giant bones. They had skeletons of giants. Like they had admitted that they had the skeletons of giants, and then they hid them away and locked them away so nobody could see them.
Absolutely.
So this one, somewhat near me, I guess, like to the same area, region, those Ozarks here. Steelville, Missouri. This happened in 1933. Was a 8-foot skeleton. As part of the search for the Lost Giants show, Jim and fellow researcher James Clary investigated the following account that had this heading: an ancient Ozark giant dug up near Steelville. Strange discovery made by a boy looking for arrowheads gives the Missouri town an absorbing mystery to ponder. And this was from the Steelville Ledger, June 11th of 1933. He turned up the complete skeleton of an 8-foot giant. The grisly find was brought to Dr. R.C. Parker here and stretched out to its enormous length in a hallway of his office, where it had since remained the most startling exhibit Steelville has ever had on public view. While reading through the microfilm at the Steelville Library, 3 reports of the find were uncovered, including the photo that shows Les Eaton, who is a 6-foot man, laid out next to the 8-foot skeleton in Dr. Parker's office, and that was this one.
Wow. That's pretty big.
The Steelville Ledger reported that the skeleton was packed up and shipped to the Smithsonian.
So wait a second. Sorry. Does that mean they have like? So I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell, but like, is that like another like leg bone there to the side of that other bone? Like you can see it, right? Like there's the hip, right?
Yeah.
Or what would be the hip? And then you have what you would think would be the kneecap, and then it goes down to something even further. Is that like another leg bone? Like that would extend, or
I don't know.
I don't know what that bone would be.
I have no idea.
That's suspicious.
It's odd for show.
Yeah, it's definitely very odd. So it ended up in the Smithsonian.
Yeah, the Smithsonian came and claimed it. Yeah. And guess what? Never heard it. Heard from it again.
There's a go figure, right? Just like the Bet sphere. Except that was the government. But I would love to go to the Smithsonian sometime. The only like natural history museum I've been to was the one up in I want to say it was Lincoln, Nebraska. There was a museum up there. I went with my grandparents and I loved it. There was a huge, like, I think it was a mastodon bone, but it was really, really cool. And that was, man, it was nuts. But so another one, this is from Miamisburg, Montgomery County, Ohio. Miamisburg mound is believed to have been built by the Adena culture anywhere between 1000 to 200 BC.
And they
It
were
is the
around for a long time. Huh?
right, yeah, absolutely. It is the largest conical burial mound in Ohio. Once nearly 70 feet tall, the height of a 7-story building, and
Jesus.
877 feet in circumference. Hugh investigated this site. Well, I don't know who Hugh is. Hugh must be the discover. I don't know. Hugh investigated this site in September of 2012. Y'all know me. Okay, when your name comes through on Google, it was like poisonous buttocks worms. I'm not kidding. That's what Google Translate gave me.
It's probably Mike.
Maybe, or it's I don't know who it is. Yeah, I don't know.
Jerry
But
Lewis.
I was gonna guess Jerry. That's who I was gonna say. But YouTube handle is Japanese. I don't know. I could be wrong. But
Mitch.
nah, it shouldn't be Mitch. I could be wrong there too. Either way, so Hugh investigated this site in September 2012, and after talking to some researchers at the local historical society, he found there were other skeletal remains reported in the nearby area. Numerous skeletal remains were uncovered from the mound, including a giant jawbone and bones of an unusual size, direct quote. But it was the discovery half a mile away that became the national sensation and was reported in the Middletown Signal on January 17th, 1899. What a turn of the century. With the headline, Bones of Prehistoric Giant Found Near Miamisburg.
What the Dickens?
Right, and here's a direct quote from that article. The skeleton of a giant found near Miamisburg is the cause of much discussion, not only among the curious and illiterate, but among just stabbing people right there, right? Like just woo. All right then. Not only among the illiterate, but among the learned scientists of the world. The body of a man more gigantic than any ever recorded in human history has been found in the Miami Valley in Ohio. The skeleton is calculated must have belonged to a man 8 feet and 1.5 inches in height.
Gigawatts.
That was a struggle to get through. Sorry.
8 feet, 1.5 gigawatts.
I don't know why. Yeah. Hint, I'm no saint, but you didn't hear it from me. I don't know. Saint Nicholas? Do we know a Nick? No. It's Santa Claus. That's where my mind went. I'm so lost. I don't know. But the continuation of this, Professor Thomas Wilson, curator of prehistoric anthropology at the Smithsonian Institution, said the following after examining the find: the authenticity of the skeleton or the skull is beyond any doubt. Its antiquity unquestionably great. To my own personal knowledge, several such crania were discovered in Hopewell Group of mounds in Ohio. The jaws were prognathous, projecting beyond the face, and the facial index remarkably low. So that helps me out a lot. But I feel like this next one, if you could pull up the picture, get it ready. The picture of the... Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Why is your mic sound messed up?
I don't know.
Okay, there it goes. So this next one is the San Diego Giant from 1895. If you could pull up that picture, it's number what?
Silent Outlaw.
It's silent?
Yeah.
Outlaw. Nice.
He must have got banned on TikTok.
Must have got banned.
Over there too, but like,
that makes sense. Good to see you, new account. It's been a long time. That's right. Caught me off guard. That's Dave got it, not me. What does the saint? I don't understand. Wait, silent. He's no saint. He's an outlaw.
You didn't hear it from him.
Yes,
he's silent.
Da-da-da. You didn't hear it from me, but I'm no saint. It should have been that way. Silent
you can
outlaw.
do the next one.
Anyways, yeah, so San Diego Giant. The The fascinating discovery reports on a giant mummy found in San Diego that is currently believed to be a hoax. However,
It's a pretty good looking hoax.
let's take a closer look. And this one, actually, this is probably the most famous picture, I think, or the most famous. Like anytime I look up giants, this one always pops up, always. So this one's been around for a while. I feel like.
I've seen your web browser.
What? What? Yeah, my web browser. Yeah, on my phone that I'm reading from. My glasses reflect. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I know it comes
Leave
up
me
after
alone.
the autofill from Google.
Yeah, of course. We're not going to talk about autofill right now. Anyways, this fascinating discovery reports on a giant mummy found in San Diego. That is, oh yeah, we already said that. However, let's take a closer look, as there is some intrigue and inconsistency with the popular story. This file report appeared in 1895 with the subheadings 9 feet high and probably a Californian Indian, measurement well authenticated, other big men and women of fact and fable who are famous types, if giantism. Just pizzazz.
I think you can make any disease and call it an ism.
You really
Like
could.
you have glassesism,
Accuratelyism.
weirdism.
Exactly. Just makes it sound more interesting to those that don't know, that are uneducated or illiterate.
Ism at the end of every sentence. Ism.
Oh no. We've started something.
Ism or asm.
Either one, really.
Yeah.
All right, so when accurately measured... Wait, Josh is on the line. Nah, I just needed to change. LOL, I'm changing it again soon. This one's for laughs. Profile pic is really scary. I like it. I thought it was cool. Josh Outlaw's on the line. Yeah. All right. When accurately measured, it turned out to be 8 feet and 4 inches, and was carefully inspected and measured by Professor Thomas Wilson, curator of the Department of Prehistoric Anthropology in the Smithsonian Institute, and by other scientists. 13 years later, in 1908, when the mummy was being examined, the Smithsonian ran some tests and suddenly dismissed it as a hoax, saying it was made from gelatin. Interesting how that works, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's now a fake.
Not real. Yep.
I wonder who paid them off.
Not one of ours.
Right. The fact that it took that long, and after spending $500 to acquire it, plus the fact that it was carefully inspected by experts 13 years earlier, does suggest there may be more to the story than meets the eye. Interesting. Dude, I have no idea how to pronounce that name.
Say guy.
Alice
Guy.
Herdlick. Yeah, cool. Join the Smithsonian. Yeah, exactly. I feel like I had a stroke. Joined the Smithsonian in 1903, right in between the discovery and the final debunking. He was not interested in giants and made a concerted effort to eradicate them from historical record. What a douche! What a
I don't
douche.
like this. You must. Oh my god. You know what I'm gonna say. Canceled. He canceled Giant before canceling.
He canceled Giants.
He was canceling shit before it was cool.
Nice.
It was never cool.
What was that called again?
You said
a hipster. That's what it is. A hipster.
No.
When you're doing something before it was cool, it was a hipster. Like when they hate certain music before it was cool, they're a hipster. Anyways, God, I haven't heard that term in a long time. Whatever happened to hipsters? Oh right, they're now communist. I mean, sorry, what?
Wait, what?
What?
Come again?
No. Anyways, I've never even heard of that term. I don't know what you're talking about. Exactly, hipsterism. It is also interesting to note that the director of prehistoric anthropology, Thomas Wilson, and the ethnologist in charge, W.J. McGee, great name, were both involved in this story and were obviously keen to make sure the Smithsonian got it back to their headquarters at the immense cost of $500 in 1895. And that equates to $14,285 today. Wow. So no thanks.
That's a lot of shipping and handling.
That's a lot of shipping and handling. Precious cargo too. Lots of taxes.
Mm-hmm.
But why would they bother doing that if it was simply a sideshow hoax? The strange twists and Smithsonian involvement and the immense amount of money spent on this makes this worthy of an inclusion in the top 10. A similar mummified giant also turned up at, I'm going to say Spiro or Spiro Mounds in Oklahoma. Not one, I'm not sure which name, but cool. It measured 8 feet and 5 inches, and was on a display for a few months, where it was seen by several people before get this, Dave, disappeared.
What?
Just
You don't say.
the giant just disappeared out of thin air. They don't know what happened to it.
Giant.
I bet it was pulled from the shelves and never talked about again, or the Vatican got it.
It got Copperfield. Did.
It got Copperfielded. Anyways, all right. So what about the Catalinum? That's the one I'm interested in.
This one hits a little close to home.
Oh, does it? Eh?
Not geographically, but you guys are going to see why.
Hold on, real quick. Isn't there another story that involves something with you two that we've gone over on the podcast before?
That involves me?
Yeah. Not you specifically, but something like a name. Wasn't there like another David Glidden somewhere? Like I could have sworn we talked about something with another David Glidden.
I have a group of David Gliddens on Facebook. Like that's all that's all that's in the group is everybody that's named David Glidden that I can find on Facebook.
That's wonderful.
We've chatted. We've talked about having to get together.
Welcome to the David Glidden reunion of 1995.
I'm telling you, man, it's kind of weird. It was
the Charles Forts ones get me too, man. There's plenty of Charles Forts out there too.
Well, this is what was freaking people out because we were all friends, and like somebody would comment on something I posted, and then another David Glidden would comment, another David Glidden, and it'd weird them out. They're like, "Wait, what the hell is going on?" You got so many profiles.
The super secret committee of David Glidden.
I was starting my own Glidden cult. It was awesome. And it was cool. Hey, one of them actually got to be in training camp with the Atlanta Falcons. He was a wide receiver out of Oklahoma State.
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Another one worked for Beretta, I think it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Beretta Firearms.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I think he still works there.
But anyways. I could have wondered something about your name. We've talked about, like, it came up, we're like, oh, wow, this is your name. What the heck? Anyways.
I don't remember that.
Whatever. It's okay. It's okay. It was like, I think from the, like, first channel. I'm pretty sure. Anyways. What about those,
Catalina Island, California, guys.
Don't mistake it for the wine mixer.
Catalina Island.
We're just gonna skip that first word there. It's the freaking
Catalina. As long as we don't say the first 15 seconds, we are golden.
It's the freaking Catalina wine mixer.
We're golden like R. Kelly.
Can you say what movie that's from? Oh, that was a shameless plug right there.
Yeah, he's a very good artist. Do you ever listen to his music? It's golden. Stay golden, Pony Boy.
Who could name that movie? Oh, and Buck.
Oh man, I do it to myself.
It's like I need a shower.
If somebody doesn't even know what the hell,
they're
just like, what's going on
my mic,
here?
guys. What is happening? Can you believe you can fly? I mean, sorry. Just
composure.
Get into the. Can you remove the picture now, please?
Oh yeah. We're talking about golden showers and art.
Right. Yeah. Hey, Cassie got it. Thanks, Cassie. Appreciate you.
I was. Well, we weren't depicting R. Kelly in that picture. I'm just saying. All right. The Channel Islands off the coast of California have turned up numerous oversized skeletons. Okay. This story is intriguing and controversial. And it stars an amateur archaeologist named Ralph Glidden. Gasp, you should.
Okay,
and his bizarre.
Sorry.
And he had a museum before Zach Bagans. Sorry, Zach.
What are you saying? He's a hipster?
Damn it.
Kidding. No, hipsters just hate very iconic things. That's what it is. Like Forrest Gump. People that usually hate Forrest Gump tend to be hipsters.
So you're saying they're liberal.
Before liberal was a thing, yes.
Anyway, before the main act,
That
a
actually
German
tracks.
naturalist got the story going in 1913. So Dr. A.W. Furstenau reported unearthing an 8-foot tall skeleton with artifacts such as mortar, pestles, and arrowheads on Catalina. He was told of a legend while in Mexico of a giant and noble race that lived on the island who existed long before the white man and had since vanished. Amateur archaeologist Ralph Glidden unearthed and collected a total of 3,781 skeletons on the Channel Islands between 1919 and 1930. Working for the Hay Foundation of New York, he unearthed a 9-foot 2-inch skeleton and several others measuring over 7 feet. We'll skip that. Right. Well, I'm not going to post a picture, but I'm just going to read this off the article thing. It says it's got a picture of a skeleton, and it says a skeleton of a young girl, evidently of high rank, with a large funeral urn, was surrounded by those of 64 children, and in various parts of the island, more than 3,000 other skeletons were found. Practically all the males averaging around 7 feet in height, one being 7 foot 8 inches from the top of his head to the ankle, and another being 9 foot 2 inches tall. As part of the Search for the Lost Giants show, Jim and Bill Vieira visited Catalina to investigate the contents of the box, and indeed there were photos of hundreds of skeletons and skulls, excavations, artifacts, and burials. They also uncovered an account of a 28-inch femur unearthed by Glidden on San Nicolas Island, reported by the judge of Avalon, Ernest Windle. This would make the skeleton 8 feet tall. I'll just show you like a picture of a skeleton. This was an Indian skeleton, 7 foot 2 inches in height, with hands crossed and fingers over the right eye. There's more to that I want to read real quick.
Okay.
About all these skeletons and stuff, because I think it gets a little more into
skeletons in your closet.
Yes. So let's see. So these giants were hidden among the quiet beaches and rolling hills. They were a fair-haired giant. They were taller, more robust, but they were blonde hair, blue-eyed. Then it goes into like a video.
Fair hair, blonde hair, blue-eyed. That sounds familiar.
Blonde hair, blue eye, like some ancient race.
Yep.
But so Glidden, after unearthing so many skeletons, he actually opened up a museum where he displayed some of these skeletons. But he also would sell the bones and made money off the sale of the digging up the graves and selling body parts and stuff like that. And I don't know if I'm actually related to this feller. I should look this up. But yeah. What's in your family tree? Skeletons in your closet?
Oh, too many to count. Too many to count.
Way too many to count.
Whoa. But that I didn't know that was in Arkansas, so that's really cool. I know
that's
the
in Catalina.
one was in Missouri. Oh, sorry, that was Little Beaver Lake. Yeah, the Catalina one. I didn't know about that one.
Now I'll go to read the next one.
Yeah, go for it.
Beaver Lake, Ozark Caves in Arkansas. So I only 30 to 40 minutes away from Beaver Lake, and only 15 minutes from Arkansas, or 20 minutes from Arkansas.
No
way.
No way.
This account from an Ozark cave in Arkansas is found in the New Age magazine, volume 18, 1913. given by the highly regarded reporter Victor Schaffelmeyer.
Shaka Khan, what?
Schaffelmeyer.
Exactly.
Check this out. This is a picture from the article of that
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It says many of these at a depth of more than 3 feet. He found the remains of several giant human skeletons, including an almost perfect skull, which differed in many particulars from a modern species specimen. When partly joined, the largest skeleton was almost 10 feet tall.
Jeez.
Almost 10 feet tall.
Victor Shakalaka. I love it.
Victor Shamalala. I don't know his last. I didn't want to try it. So again, there's a show called Search for the Lost Giants. I think it's on Discovery. Check it out. So they went to the site of the cave and investigated it. It had been flooded with the damming and creation of Beaver Lake between 1960 and 1966. Bill Vieira and professional scuba diver Mike Young dove into the lake and found a huge shelter cave believed to be the site of the skeletal finds. While a 70-foot stone wall was found at the entrance of the cave, showing likely human habitation, no more clues were forthcoming. Text from the original article read as follows. While the historical features of the Ozarks held our attention, by far the most fascinating discovery was one made by an aged recluse and naturalist who, for 10 years, had lived in a shelter cave near where we camped. Dad Riggins spent much of his time digging in the ashes from which formed the floor of many of these caves. At a depth of more than 3 feet, he found the remains of several giant skeletons, including an almost perfect skull, which differed. And we did that.
Yes.
Riggins showed us hieroglyphics covering the palisades throughout the thought to be thousands of years old. So a lot of cool history here in the Ozarks and a lot of things.
I mean, it makes sense. If there were giants in the Ozarks, that'd be really easy to get around the Ozarks for them.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, go ahead and read the next two.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we'll wrap up.
The one out in Lompoc Rancho, California?
See.
All right. This short report re-emerged with a broader range of details in 1883, and now various authors and websites repeat the same story. It goes something like this. Soldiers digging in a pit for a powder magazine at Lompoc Rancho, California, hacked their way through a layer of cemented gravel and found a 12-foot sarcophagus. The skeleton of a giant man about 12 feet tall was inside. The grave was surrounded by carved shells, huge stone axes, 2 spears, and thin sheets of porphyry, which is purple. Huh?
What?
I think it's porphyry. Or I could be totally wrong.
It probably
is. But it's purple mineral with quartz covering the skeleton. These were covered with unintelligible symbols. He had a double row of teeth, both upper and lower. The soldier consulted a local tribe of Indians who, after going into trance, exclaimed they were geographically displaced Elegui Indians from Ohio Valley. When natives began to attach some religious significance to the find, authorities ordered the skeleton and all the artifacts secretly reburied, covering it up. No further information is available, so it is impossible to verify this information, but numerous other skeletons of this height have been reported in such newspapers as the New York Times. 2 further 12-feet examples were reported in Jeffersonville, Kentucky, in Bernard, Missouri, and
Ozarks.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, that was in 1883. That's so crazy. Furthermore, a 13-foot example was said to have been unearthed in Janesville, Wisconsin, and even bones that were estimated to be from a skeleton 14 foot tall at Etowah Mounds. These are all well out of normal range for humans, but are worth noting here as these immense sizes pop up again and again in well-respected newspapers. So it makes you think, is it people trying to get famous, or is it actually, like,
I mean,
real?
it's like anything else, like whether it be ghost hunting, aliens, Bigfoot, whatever. There's always going to be those people that try to get famous off of it. And,
True.
but then again, there's some people that might be telling the truth and we just don't know because there's no proof of it.
True. Well, especially that far back, because
Yeah.
all the stuff just gets hidden away. Like, it sucks. But,
Yeah.
all right, so this next one and the final one is West Hickory, Pennsylvania, 1870. It was 18 feet. Like, that's huge. So it is estimated to be 18 feet tall, and the bones were being prepared to be sent to New York. Clearly, however, this could be an exaggeration, as 18 feet is unheard of in the historical record. But the matter-of-fact description is intriguing. Interestingly, the discovery was reported to be buried 12 feet below a mound, so it could suggest a deep antiquity, however tall he was. We hope this tiny section of accounts leaves one realizing there may be some truth to these reports. And it just makes this crazy. So I'm going to do my best to read this article. If they have an actual like shot of the article being reported on.
Okay.
It's like an actual newspaper clipping. It says, "The Cardin giant outdone alleged discovery of the skeleton of a giant in the oil regions." Whatever the hell that means. The
Sounds
oil
like
city... What?
It sounds like parts of the Midwest or even up in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, it's in Pennsylvania, so...
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. The Oil City Times of Friday is responsible for the following. On Tuesday morning last, while Mr. W.M. Thompson, assisted by Robert R. Smith, was engaged in making an excavation near the house of the former, about a half a mile north of West Hickory, preparatory to erecting a derrick, they exhumed an enormous helmet of iron which was corroded with rust. Further digging brought to light a sword which measured 9 feet in length. Curiosity incited them to enlarge the hole, and after some little time they discovered the bones of 2 enormous feet. Following up the lead they had so unexpectedly struck, in a few hours time, they had unearthed a well-preserved skeleton of an enormous giant belonging to a species of human family which probably inhabited this and other parts of the world at the time of which the Bible speak, when it says, "And there were giants in those days." The helmet is said to be the shape of those found among the ruins of Nineveh. The bones of the skeletons are remarkably white. The teeth are all in their places, and all of them are double in extraordinary size. These relics have been taken to Tionesta, where they are visited by the large number of people daily. When his giant ship was When his giant ship was in the flesh, he must have stood 18 feet in his stockings. This remarkable relics will be forwarded to New York earlier this week. The joint of skeletons are now being glued together. These remains were found with 12 feet below. These remains about 12 feet below the surface of a mound which had been thrown up probably centuries ago, and which was not more than 3 feet above the level of the ground around it. Here's another nut for the antiquarians to crack.
You antiquarians?
Whatever antiquarians are, yes. I actually don't know what an antiquarian. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what an antiquarian is.
I don't know. Non-believer?
Yeah,
skeptics?
Maybe.
Or
That's pretty much
believers?
the rest of the article, yeah. And then the article goes into more mythology and stuff like that, but that's pretty much the end of it.
Well, we talked about the Nephilim before.
We did. We have. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if it's a giant person found in Pennsylvania with a helmet.
And it wasn't like it was a bunch of them found.
Right. It was just the one that they know of. Well, they probably just found the one and was like, all right, we're good. Let's down with it. You know, like instead of continually digging, and maybe there was more around it. But what makes me think is like maybe it came from up north, right?
Right.
Like I don't know. I feel like when I think about Vikings and the tales of Vikings, giants were a very prevalent thing. So
well, even
I wouldn't be surprised.
Romans, the Greek
Romans, yes,
they all had lore of giants.
Cyclops. What if under like, so it was under a mound, right? It was like an ancient burial mound. Yeah, technically. So maybe some of these other mounds have giant burials underneath them.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, that one you read about was about 7 stories tall.
Yeah, why can't the Nazca lines have giants buried under them?
Maybe. Perhaps.
Till we do some digging. But we can't do digging because it's,
legal.
It's
I don't think anybody can dig on Nazca lines, at least.
Probably not. I mean, here's the problem, right? Like, we don't want to destroy history. Well, I understand that, but let's think of ways that we can preserve it and not destroy history, but also finding history. I feel like we close ourselves off from discovery quite literally, and if you have the money to do something and you possibly come across something, it's either shut down or taken control of very fast.
Well, I think part of the problem some may have with that is like if we discover history, it means we have to rewrite history and we have to reteach that to everybody.
Good point.
I don't think that they are prepared to even go down that road.
No,
we've already got this far. Let's just call it good.
Yeah, they can't admit that the history that we're being taught every day
is wrong.
It's
incorrect.
It's part of the programming.
I watched Curse of Oak Island. Damn it, I know what's good.
I mean, it's pretty intense. I mean, things that you find out that, like, you were taught once back in school, and then you find out it's actually not true, or something was, like, it's crazy. I'm so glad to be able to go out and do my own digging.
Maybe
if I could have been an archaeologist in a different life, I definitely would have been, for sure.
It'd be fun.
There's no way I could do it now. There's no way.
Nah.
I mean, not right now, but maybe in the future. We'll see. That'd be kind of cool. You'd have to have a lot of resources. Resources. People.
Well, guys, I think that's going to do it for us tonight here on Boogeyman Radio. Talking about giants. If you ever find one, you let us know before you call the Smithsonian.
Please do. Or the Vatican. Don't call the Vatican.
This thing is the devil.
Don't do it.
I dug up this giant and my house is now haunted by a very big spirit.
Well, that's the saying, right? Like the Nephilim were created by, or there were creatures created by the Nephilim being with the daughters of men. It was the angels being with the daughters of men created the Nephilim. That's what it was. Sorry.
Yes.
I had to get it straight there. Get my Bible facts right.
Get it right, dumbass.
Yeah. But thanks, guys, for being here. Cassie, sweet dreams. Take care.
Next week we will try to get a paranormal roundtable together, and
that'd be great.
That'll be fun.
I might be busy next Monday. We'll see. So paranormal roundtable would be great.
Yes. All right, guys. Everybody have a great night. Thank you for stopping in. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you. Hey, by the way, we uploaded the Lizzie Borden episode this past Thursday.
Yes.
This coming Thursday, part 2 of the Lizzie Borden episode. So check that out. If you haven't yet, go give it a like. Guys, I don't care if you watch like 30 seconds of it. Go over there and like it. It helps us out. So go do that. And that's it. See you guys. Be good.
Appreciate you. See y'all next week. Bye.